macOS is the heart of the Mac, and with Apple Silicon, the Mac lineup has never been stronger. Combined with macOS, it enables you to be more productive and creative. For our next release, we focused on helping you get even more done. Now, when it came to naming this release, we turned once again to Apple's legendary crack product marketing team. The instructions were simple and explicit. Travel far and wide, leave no stone unturned. Well, as far as we can reconstruct, that search consisted of piling in their microbus, punching in the words awesome vineyard into maps, and beelining straight to one of the most famous wine regions in the world. A place celebrated by the team, perhaps a bit too much, and beloved by millions. Introducing macOS Sonoma, a big new release that will make your Mac more delightful and even more productive. First, many of the features we talked about earlier on iOS and iPadOS are going to be great on the Mac. And macOS Sonoma brings a rich set of features that elevate the experience of macOS, starting with stunning new screensavers that show beautiful slow-motion videos of places around the world, like the sweeping skyline of Hong Kong, the sandstone buttes of Monument Valley, and the rolling hills of Sonoma. And when you log in, this imagery settles beautifully into your desktop. Next, let's talk about making your Mac more personal through widgets. Not only are they becoming more powerful, they're also now available somewhere new. Let's take a look. Before, widgets on Mac were available here in Notification Center. But sometimes you want to see information at a glance while you're using your Mac. Now you can, by simply bringing your widgets right into view here on the desktop. I love to catch a glimpse of my favorite photos throughout the day, and weather too. And I can put these anywhere. So let's add shortcuts here to the bottom left. To make sure widgets aren't distracting while you're working with apps, we also came up with a way to make them glanceable without feeling intrusive. If I open up Mail, my widgets instantly fade into the background so I can focus on the task at hand. If I switch my wallpaper, you'll see the widgets are intelligently tinted based on the color behind them, so they maintain legibility and the look of my desktop. Even the Photos widget adapts. It's really gorgeous. To add more widgets, I can bring up the widget gallery, where I have all the widgets I know and love on my Mac. But I also have some amazing widgets on my iPhone, and through the magic of continuity, I can now access them all right here on my Mac. So I can see my Apollo for Reddit, Hi Coffee, and even my car widget. I don't need to install these apps on my Mac to use the widgets. My iPhone just needs to be nearby or on the same Wi-Fi network. And just like on iPad and iPhone, widgets on the Mac are now interactive. So you can use your car widget from your iPhone to start cooling off your car. And interactivity can unlock new workflows too. For example, photographers can select photos on their desktop, and with the Shortcuts widget, they can tap into Pixelmator Pro to apply a signature look and get them ready to submit for a campaign, all with a single click. And that's Widgets on Mac, an entirely new way to personalize your desktop and get things done throughout your day. Next, let's talk about gaming, a space where so much action is happening. To tell you more, here's Jeremy.
Apple Silicon fundamentally changed the game, delivering incredible graphics performance to every Mac. And now, tens of millions of Macs can run demanding games with great performance, long battery life, and breathtaking visuals, presenting an unprecedented opportunity for developers to bring their games to more players than ever before. And since introducing Metal 3 with powerful new features like Metal Effects upscaling, demanding games like Resident Evil Village have seen huge performance gains. This year, macOS takes the gaming experience even further with Game Mode, giving players an edge when performance is measured in precious milliseconds, ensuring the game gets the highest priority on the CPU and GPU, keeping your background tasks to a lower usage. and delivering an optimized gaming experience with even smoother and more consistent frame rates. And Game Mode makes gaming on Mac even more immersive, dramatically lowering audio latency with AirPods and significantly reducing input latency with Xbox and PlayStation controllers by doubling the Bluetooth sampling rate, providing in-game responsiveness you can really feel. Game Mode works with any game, including all of these recent and upcoming Mac games. We are so excited to see developers bringing more games to the Mac. And to help with that, Metal provides a new game porting toolkit to make it even easier for developers to port their games from other platforms. These new tools enable developers to quickly evaluate just how well their game could run on Mac. A process that used to take months can now be done in days. And they dramatically simplified the process of converting the game's shaders and graphics code to take full advantage of the powerful features and performance of Apple Silicon, significantly reducing the total development time. And there's another big game coming to Mac this year. To tell you all about it, here's legendary game creator Kojima-san from Kojima Productions.
はい、皆さんこんにちは。僕らが現在取り組んでいる Mac のプロジェクトを本日ここで皆さんにご紹介できることをとても嬉しく思っています。僕自身、1994年に最初の Mac を購入して以来の Apple の大ファンです。そして僕とチームが手掛けた作品を Mac でお届けすることが長年の夢でもありました。Mac でのゲーム体験はついに新しい時代に突入しました。その時代に合わせてデストランディング、ディレクターズカットの Mac 版のリリースが2023年年末に決定したことをここで発表させていただきます。Mac 版デストランディング、ディレクターズカットでは、Apple の最新の、テクノロジーを最大限に生かしたゲーム体験を皆さんにお届けしたいと思います。メタル FX アップスケーリングによる、高精度なグラフィックをはじめ Apple シリコンの素晴らしいパフォーマンスやモダンなレンダリングパイプラインを兼ね備えたメタル3には今回とても驚かされました。ぜひ多くの皆さんにこの革新的かつエキサイティングな新しい Mac の環境に触れていただければと思っています。このデストランディングディレクターズカットを皮切りに今後の小島プロダクションタイトルについても Apple プラットフォームへの展開を積極的に行っていく予定です。デストランディングディレクターズカットの先行予約は近日中に開始する予定です。ぜひ楽しみにお待ちください。それでは Thank you.
Thanks, Kojima-san. Now, let's shift to the ways macOS will help you be more productive, starting with video conferencing. We spend a lot of time on video calls, but when you share your screen, your face and presence can get lost. This year, we have great new ways to help you present remotely. A new video effect called Presenter Overlay elevates your presence by including you on top of the content you're sharing. With Small Overlay, your face appears in a movable bubble, so it's easy to be seen while showcasing your work. With Large Overlay, you remain prominent while your shared screen is framed beautifully next to you. We separate you from the background and layer your screen in between, so you can walk, talk, and move in front of your content. Thanks to the Neural Engine and Apple Silicon, you get amazing quality. We also have a new reactions video effect. When you want to let others know how you feel, you can add a reaction that seamlessly blends your video with balloons, confetti, hearts, and more. They're fun and have a cinematic quality with depth and focus. And you can trigger these effects with a gesture. When you're really impressed, 2 thumbs up brings on a celebratory display of fireworks. You can use these new video effects with any app, like FaceTime, Zoom, Teams, WebEx, and more. Next, let's talk about Safari and how we're taking it to the next level. To tell you more, here's Beth.
Safari is the best way to browse the web. With macOS Sonoma, Safari is the world's fastest browser. It renders cutting-edge websites with amazing speed. Safari is powered by WebKit, which provides incredible technology that is used by over 1 million apps. We're constantly updating WebKit. In just the past few months, we've added even more features for developers. And we're adding even more, including beautiful advancements to typography. Another cornerstone of the Safari experience is privacy. Safari was built from the ground up to protect your privacy and was the first browser to introduce private browsing. This year, we're taking it a step further. Private browsing now locks your private browsing windows when you're not using them, completely blocks known trackers from loading on pages, and removes tracking from URLs as you browse in private browsing. Of course, one of the best ways to protect yourself on the web is with a strong password, or even better, a passkey. We're now adding the ability to securely share passwords and passkeys with the people you're closest with. Everyone in a group can add and edit passwords to keep them up to date. And since sharing is through iCloud Keychain, it's end-to-end encrypted. We have another exciting update to help you stay organized with profiles. Many of us use Safari for a mix of work and personal browsing and would love a way to separate browsing between topics. Profiles help you separate your cookies, history, extensions, tab groups, and favorites. So you can sign into the same site with your work account and personal account and quickly switch between them. And if you're a student, set up a unique collection of extensions and favorites just for school. Last, we're giving you a faster way to access your favorite sites with web apps on Mac. Let's check them out. With web apps, we're elevating the websites you use most often with some of the same great features as apps. I use Confluence all the time. I'll make it a web app so it doesn't get lost in my other browsing. From the File menu, I can click Add to Doc, and the title and icon load automatically. When I click Add, the icon instantly appears in the dock. Now I can close this window in Safari. When I launch my web app, I get an app-like experience with a simplified toolbar. On Mac, you can create a web app for any website, and developers don't have to do any extra work for their web app to look great. Web apps are integrated right into my experience on Mac, so I can Command Tab to access my Pinterest web app. It also works great with Stage Manager, Mission Control, Spotlight, and other ways you access apps. You can get notifications too, so Instacart can let me know my order's been delivered, and with a click, I'm into my Instacart web app. Web apps make it even easier to get to your favorite websites on Mac. Back to you, Craig.
With profiles, web apps, and a huge update to private browsing, Safari is simply the best way to browse the web. And that's macOS Sonoma, featuring more ways to personalize with widgets and stunning new screensavers, new levels of gaming performance, and powerful productivity for video conferencing and Safari.